Why is it said that once the entire Earth is completely enveloped by the giant Dyson Sphere, the cultural forms of humanity that have lasted for thousands of years will be completely rewritten? Even the world we know will be completely lost in just a few decades. Most people's understanding of Dyson spheres is limited to the super-level engineering of enveloping stars and extracting endless energy sources. Yet very few have ever considered the most disruptive scenes. When this artificial shell covers not the sun but the homeworld we depend on, human nature's natural rules, social systems, and spiritual beliefs will all undergo a disruptive transformation. Many believe this is the ultimate protection for Wen Ming's ascension, able to help humans escape natural disasters and unlock unlimited resources. But the real outcome is full of swords and hidden dangers. This protective shield is a dual-edged blade that can isolate cosmic disasters, release production energy, yet directly sever the bond of symbiosis between humans and nature spanning millions of years, overturning the underlying logic of civil operation. Have you ever wondered, what if the sunrise and sunset, the stars of the four seasons, the wind and rain, the mountains and rivers were completely lost, and humanity would truly evolve, or would it be forever imprisoned? When the Dyson system closes seamlessly, it can completely envelop the Earth. The first to collapse is not the economy or technology, but the natural surface system we are familiar with. Its high density completely isolates direct sunlight from the sun and cosmic radiation. The constant cycle of day and night for billions of years, the cycle of the four seasons, has finally come to an end. The sun sets at dawn, the changes of seasons and the disappearance of wind, snow, clouds, and fog all disappear. All the light, shadow, temperature, and airflow in the sky and Earth are simulated and regulated by intelligent systems. The whole world experiences a unified environment of constant temperature, humidity, and pressure. The difference in sensation between the equator and the polar regions has completely reverted to zero. Many people feel that saying goodbye to extreme weather is a perfect blessing, but very few know that the disappearance of natural rhythms is the first domino card of the collapse of Earth's ecosystem. All native ecosystems cannot exist independently of the natural rhythms of the sun, moon, and stars. All native ecological systems on Earth rely on natural lighting, climate, and airflow evolution to form a complete closed loop. Basic photosynthetic vegetation such as forests, grasslands, and algae can rapidly wither and die due to sudden changes in light mode. The terrestrial and ocean bottom food chain is completely broken. Wild animals lost their adapted living environments and reproductive rhythms. Massive species accelerated their extinction, and the wilderness ecosystem that had naturally evolved over millions of years came to a complete end. From then on, the Earth no longer had pure natural ecosystems. All plants and animals were managed under a closed loop of artificial control, with only a small number of rare species preserved for scientific research and conservation. The mountains, rivers, seas, and all living things we once praised, in the end, remain only in images, specimens, and virtual experiences, becoming mere ancient memories. This Earth, completely artificially artificial, is it still the blue home we know? Ecological restructuring is only the beginning. The implementation of unlimited clean energy sources will directly overturn the fundamental economic logic of humanity that has been building on the outer layer of energy collection for thousands of years, continuously converting solar energy and cosmic radiation to produce nearly zero-cost massive electricity. Humanity has completely moved beyond the era of energy scarcity, with coal, petroleum, and natural gas completely regressing from their power systems, retaining only the value of chemical raw materials. The century-old global energy trade and resource competition and geopolitical hegemony system collapsed instantly. Energy is no longer the core chip for wealth disparities or national competition, but universal prosperity will not follow. In the moment of scarcity and loss, the brand new class barriers will be immediately replaced. The traditional wealth value of land, minerals, and energy resources has completely failed. High-quality living spaces, biometric quotas, core technology usage rights, Dyson gaming rights protection, and interstellar access have become the most precious and scarce resources of the new era. Traditional farming completely disappeared, and open-air farming naturally became a thing of the past. All global grain production relies on vertical farms, with no uniform hydroponic workshops, and intelligent mass production. Artificial spectrum, precisely balanced nutrient solution, and temperature control systems have thoroughly solved the millennium famine problem, with efficiency improved exponentially. The agricultural civilization that could last for thousands of years has thus come to a complete close, and the traditional occupation of farmers has completely disappeared. Can you believe it? A single energy revolution directly severed the foundation of human life and vitality spanning thousands of years. The industrial sector has experienced a full-scale explosion, once constrained by high energy consumption and high costs in special metallurgy, superconductors, and deep space equipment manufacturing. Virtual immersive experience and ecosystem operation and maintenance. Physical health checkups and interstellar suite services have become the mainstream. Social operations completely break free from the constraints of weather and terrain, achieving an all-time high in efficiency. Yet the natural scent of everyday life is completely separated from human life. Industrial transformation has forced the scientific research track to undergo comprehensive iteration, accelerating the decline of conventional disciplines, and ground-based astronomical observation has become completely useless. The surface can no longer be directly observed to capture the original cosmic beacon through the starry sky. Traditional astronomy can only be conducted using an extraterrestrial surface. Natural science disciplines such as meteorology and traditional geography have completely stepped out of the core research domain. At this time, humanity can no longer see the changing stars and changing seasons, and we are born with an innate desire to explore the universe. Will it slowly fade into silence in a monotonous, closed environment? High-energy intensive experiments, such as particle colliders, controlled nuclear fusion, and quantum computing, can operate 24/7 without interruption. The speed at which humans explore the nature of things, cosmic laws, and spatio-temporal principles has greatly increased, and the most advanced scientific research tasks today are all circulating around the Earth's closed-loop ecosystem, maintaining ecological balance, and regulating wastewater bodies with 100% cycles. Self-repair recovery materials, human-adapted light sources, and healing intelligence repair systems have become core technologies for determining the survival of human civilization. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a tool, but a superbrain that controls the fate of the entire planet. A unified system of technology, and living systems has completely ended the geopolitical landscape that has lasted for thousands of years. A Dyson Sphere is a borderless integrated structure. Any damage or ecological imbalance in any place can trigger a global disaster. No country can remain unaffected. Upgrade and repair of the operation and maintenance of this super-level engineering system. It requires global technology, resources, and talent to be integrated, and a single country is fundamentally unable to support it. This also means that traditional territorial disputes, resource wars, and sovereignty games have completely lost the meaning of dividing national borders for millennia. Is there really any value left in the face of the existential crisis shared by humanity? The whole world is inevitably moving toward a high degree of integration, giving birth to the highest unified governance institutions that coordinate security, energy resource scheduling, ecological regulation, population planning, and interstellar resource allocation. Large-scale hot wars are a complete ultimate skill. Actions that destroy the body and ecosystem amount to the suicide of all humanity and are permanently evilized by the global system. Human competition is no longer about armed combat, but instead focuses on technical monopolies, operational rights restrictions, space quotas, and rules for AI management and control. The mode of resistance to civilization is essentially upgraded. At the same time, the fixed carrying capacity of closed ecosystems has made spontaneous reproduction and migration history. Globally, precise population quota and flow control are implemented, with all population scale resource allocation ratios precisely calculated by AI, completely eliminating population overload and resource waste. Yet it also deprives humans of the natural right to reproduce and survive on their own. When the existence and movement of humanity are controlled by systematically and quantitatively, has the civilization we always touted long ago become nominal and practical? Macroeconomic changes will ultimately be reflected in the daily lives of every individual, completely reshaping human biological rhythms and the spiritual world. Without day and night or the four seasons as natural references, human life has completely failed in its existence over 10,000 years. Routines, work, and entertainment all follow a unified work rhythm. Traditional rural areas have completely disappeared, and cities have fully developed toward three-dimensional, dome-shaped, and underground spaces. Almost all human activities are confined to a closed artificial environment, no longer able to feel wind, frost, rain, snow, or the cycle of the seasons. The eating system has been completely overturned, with purely wild ingredients becoming top-tier luxury products, and all daily food ingredients are cultivated to the standard at the factory. Safe and precise, but losing its natural flavor. Relying on traditional folk customs such as the Mid-Autumn Festival and Winter Solstice based on celestial phenomena and seasonal festivals, they have lost their original scenic titles and have gradually been forgotten by the new generation. Traditions such as Taeyong worship and starry sky worship gradually decline. Artistic creation thoroughly iterates mountains, seas, stars, rivers, countryside, and the four seasons. Closed and closed. When star exploration virtual world has become the core theme of the entertainment industry. The new generation has never seen a truly natural Ancient mountains, rivers, and stars can only rely on video and VR experiences, so nostalgia naturally becomes a high-end, niche entertainment genre. Long-term environmental closure has fostered a dual mindset among the entire population. Extreme environmental security has led society toward a closed, stable, and timeless closed space. It also triggered widespread claustrophobia and emotional exhaustion. Psychological disorders have become a normalized chronic disease in society, and at the same time, cultural differences worldwide are continuously dissipating. The multi-domain civilization is gradually merging into a unified interstellar civilization prototype. Although the new world appears stable and prosperous, it actually harbors deadly cultural risks, primarily deadly structural risks. However, long-term exposure in the space environment leads to material aging, micrometeorite impacts, maintenance errors, and system deviations. Even the smallest issue can trigger possible damage, leading to atmospheric leakage, radiation intrusion, and a climate collapse, leaving almost no room for emergency errors. Next is the instability of human ecology, micropollution negatives, microbiotic imbalances, and microchain breaks. Over a century, these have expanded in cycles and are enough to completely destroy the entire ecosystem. Even more fatal, humans have completely lost their ability to live naturally. Once the three core systems, energy, AI, and ecosystem, are paralyzed, humanity is powerless to save itself. The ultimate sanctuary we built ultimately became a tightly woven prison for Wenaming. Moreover, the new social system will become a solidified stratum with a core elite class that holds core technology and operational power, monopolizing top-tier resources and narrowing the path for the lower-class people to advance. Extreme material abundance and the pressure of survival slowly erode humanity's curiosity and drive for progress, while comfort breeds cultural laziness, causing society to become internally entangled and stagnate in development. Stretching over several centuries, human groups would completely split into two branches. Humans in the internal body of the body gradually adapt to the human environment, weaken physical abilities, adapt to genetic factors, and adopt closed bioconditions, forming an inner circle population dependent on the system, relying on the extracorporeal space platform, deepening deep space exploration, and adapting alien colonists to the polar environments of the universe to become interstellar races and homogeneous humans, ultimately forging completely different evolutionary paths inside and outside their home planet, is the most crucial point. This giant artificial structure enveloping the Earth will release powerful artificial signals throughout space, completely exposing humanity's interstellar coordinates. The blue planet that once hid in the corners of the universe has since become the most prominent artificial object in the vast sea of stars. There is no longer any way to keep a low profile of hidden meaning. Humans have quiet science and technology, isolated from natural disasters, and resisted cosmic dangers, building an absolutely secure home for themselves. But is this really the ultimate security? The moment we personally imprison our home planet, sever the natural force, and expose our coordinates, the fate of humanity and civilization will no longer be fully under our own control. Deep in the distant universe, countless unknown civilizations and the interstellar world,